Alive.
Oh.
Wish they would. Thank God I saw
I'll try
the 3,
not to
2,
move
1.
too much.
Good afternoon, Malpec fans, Kushi fans, and James River fans, and welcome to a special Visit Lauderdale edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on WWNN and streaming live on the South Florida Live streaming networks on Facebook and YouTube. And today we've got a very special edition. We're out here at Bubbles and Pearls restaurant, and the bubbles stand for sparkling wines and champagnes, and the pearls stand for oysters. And I rattled off a list of some of the oyster offerings that you will find here on a regular basis at Bubbles and Pearls. And I am joined, as usual, on a Thursday, besides Jeff Defo DeForest back in the man cave, but the real stars of the show today are Neki Mohan of Visit Lauderdale and Chef Josie Smith-Malave of Bubbles and Pearls, a longtime fan, and I probably butchered her name because I'm really good at spelling, being a journalist, but I'm just terrible at pronunciations. How are you today, Neki and Josie?
We're doing well.
Oh my God.
Getting to know each other.
Oh yeah, and this is great too because I mean, hello Nikki, and handling all of Fort Lauderdale, and then me, and oh my God, and we're just two women from other places, other lands, and we're just getting to know each other. I love it.
Yeah, and we love it. We love bringing all of that here, and that's the best thing about living in South Florida is that you never know who you're going to meet. You never know where they came from.
Yeah, I love that.
And they probably won't leave.
And everyone's been through New York.
Everybody. Yeah. Well, you could say that again on this show, right, Defo?
I'm with you 1,000%, and this is very exciting because we've talked to Josie once before, but we never got to see her lovely presence here on the program. And combined with you, Neki, I mean, you bring up the average in terms of the good-looking department by 50% now, combined with that one box on the screen is going to tend to dominate here on the visual portion of the program.
Hey, I got a haircut. I got a haircut this week, Defo. Don't I look a little bit?
You know what's funny, Neki? You can appreciate this. We've been getting on Mike because he's been eating like he's going to the chair for the last couple of days in celebration of his birthday.
Years.
And then he's, kind of been around the tour here with a lot of live remotes this week, but he throws in a yogurt in the middle of all of this to try and pretend that he's going to get into some kind of dedication. No, but that was an additional
promoting his probiotics. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Keep it regular.
In the middle of all this ice cream and
that's the most
steak,
important thing,
he throws in a yogurt. I love that.
Yeah, I got to kind of make it look good. And I had that salad last night when I was playing some cards. And I know Josie is a fellow card player. I don't know if she's been playing at all lately, but I was down at the Big Easy, or formerly known as Mardi Gras. They have those little tournaments, and I had some fun, and I made a really dumb, blunderous decision late. So I got bubbled last night, which is appropriate because coming into Bubbles and Pearls, why not bubble? They were paying 10. I got knocked out like in 13th. And in any event, I'm here. I'm drinking a beautiful complimentary beer on tap from Gulfstream Brewing right down the road, a nice IPA, a little bit grapefruity. It's beautiful. And no, I'm so happy that Josie and her wife, Marcy, the lovely Marcy, who runs to the front of the house here at Bubbles and Pearls. How long have you been open now? I've lost all sense of time since the pandemic hit. It's been, 5 years? I don't even know.
7, my brother. 7 years.
Wow. I don't even know where the time went. I remember I came in here. I gave a very glowing review for the Sun Sentinel.
Sure did.
When
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no, and I'm always pleased when I come into a place and I see they actually framed it on the wall.
Yeah,
and it's not with my picture and darts in it either.
I was just about to say, it's like, let's compare that Defo to the number of places that have his picture with that wanted and his face on the back of a milk carton, and
like, if this
with a
guy
circle and a
comes
line
in,
through it.
Watch out for this guy. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, that was one of our proudest moments. And honestly, I always look back at that time and go, thank you so much for seeing us and seeing what we do. Thank you so much for giving us props in this very competitive industry. And thank you again, just for always giving. You always gave us some good, honest, constructive feedback. And we took that feedback. And as you can see, we have low tables now.
Yeah, one of my pet peeves, because because I don't have the best dexterity or balance is like the restaurants that have nothing but high tops, and then I kind of wobble because I'm like a weeble. I wobble, but hopefully I don't fall down. And no, and that's one of the beauties of Josie's a pro. She's been around. She's worked at some of the top restaurants in New York. And you were on what? You were on Top Chef for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, four seasons of Top Chef. I can't
Wow.
even believe it. 4 seasons of Top Chef, a season of what is that? Cutthroat Kitchen on Food Network, and it's just a part of the story, man. It's a part of the story.
That's awesome. Mike, I always think like, if you wrote your story down, like you had to read it, what would it look like, right? And I think it can be said for everybody in these boxes, it's not going to be boring.
No. Story time with us. How about that?
And
mine would be written in
a
red
beer
ink.
or bubbles go with it.
Yeah. I was saying mine would be written in red ink or in our blood, but this is a great story that the rest of you guys have for sure.
So, Josie, why don't we just start with a little bit of your backstory? How did you get into cooking? Why do you like it? And what kind of masochist do you have to be to still, maintain a restaurant after 7 years, including a pandemic that basically totally turned the industry upside down?
Well, come on, Mike. I think by this point, I'm a little like off the beaten path, in my thinking process. Okay, I don't really come at things in that predictable, normal approach. It's I'm an out of the box thinker, and when I thought about this restaurant, honestly, it was supposed to begin as a donut shop. And I just looked at this space and I said, no, we can't do donuts here. You know how much equipment we would have to bring in to make this into a donut shop? We had a limited budget opening. So it was me kind of taking the restaurant challenge of Top Chef and going, okay, your challenge starts now. So what did we have, And I was thinking about this community and what, as far as food was being offered, what kind of cuisines were being offered. And man, we didn't need any more burger joints. We didn't need another chicken wing spot. We didn't need any more Italian. We didn't need any more sushi. It was like we had maxed out at our quota. So I'm sitting in this space thinking, wow, that kitchen is so small. How are we going to, because my goal is to be very busy, that we have a line down the street, right? So I'm trying to figure out what should I do now that will help alleviate some of that pressure on the kitchen. Right. And I was like, I need a garde manger station, which is in kitchen terms, the cold station in restaurants. And that usually takes out all the salads and certain cold appetizers, right? So I'm thinking cold. Okay, well, where could I put that? And then I looked in the space. I sat in this space. It was very woo-woo, guys, okay? I can't, it wasn't like calculated approach to this. No, I just sat in this space and let the space speak to me. And when I sat here long enough, I was like, oysters. We need oysters in this town. And then what goes with oysters? Bubbles, So then I came up with this name, Bubbles and Pearls. And my wife thought that it was like totally, she said, Josie, I don't know about that. That sounds like a soap shop, like body, the Body Shop or something. And I said, all right, let's ask your guest.
And what did they say?
They said, oysters. Ew. And she came home every night scared because I swear to God, she said, babe, I just don't think that this is going to work. This whole oyster thing, I don't think this town is ready for oysters. And she was so nervous, I swear. But I'm a risk taker. As you know, Mike, I like to play poker. You gotta have your money in. If you want to win, you gotta put your money in the pot, So the only way, you find out whether or not it's going to succeed or not is if, like, you take the risk. So you got to take a risk sometimes. And that's what we ended up doing. And the risk has paid off. And we're going to be opening up a second location next year. And so we're super excited.
Can you share any details of location yet, or is the lease not signed?
Oh no, so the lease is in the process of being written right now, but we're looking at Fort Lauderdale location. And so Bubbles and Pearls is not moving. We're keeping this OG location. Okay. So you'll continue my Wilton Manors fan base. Like, guys, you're the OG, so we're good. This will be our nice little neighborhood spot. But it's time for Bubbles and Pearls to like grow some wings and really fly the way that it was intended to be, the way that it was imagined. And this is a 4,100 square foot space. It's going to be my flagship here in Fort Lauderdale. And after this, hopefully, I think we're probably going to go to Canada.
They just came back from Canada.
Yeah.
But for someone that is not a big, like I like oysters. I don't love oysters. What do you serve here that keeps me? I'll drink bubbles, any amount of bubbles and water
and
beer.
and when she says cold, I also think of beer, and I look in my beer and I see bubbles in there. So I love it. Even if you not into the champagnes or the cavas or the some of the sparkling wines from around the world, and you have a very affordable wine list. That's to be commended.
That's
too.
Incredible. But how do you make the place like this appeal to someone like me who's I like oysters. I had oysters last night on the half shell, but that someone that may not be a big oyster fan.
Well, so first off, everything, the way that we do service here, right? This is not a tapas, it's not small bites, but everything in this restaurant is intended to share. Because of the size of our kitchen, it's very hard for us, like say for instance, to have a 6-top table, 6 people sitting at the table and get all their entrees out at once. And then on top of that, everyone else's entrees out at the same time, right? So what we tell everyone when they get here is that, listen, our menu is designed for sharing. Okay. And we can start you off with a few things that the table can share. And then we suggest, say, we serve up a 16-ounce bone out ribeye. And, this thing is like an inch thick and it's this beautiful ribeye. And I didn't even name it. Our guest named it, okay? And they call it off the chain ribeye because that's what they call it. And I was opposed to like calling it off the chain because I'm like, I don't like those kitschy, weird names, but it's fun. I'm learning not to be so snooty,
You're in
about
Wilton.
food. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. And so, this has been like a learning experience for me too, because I come from a very refined world of food, right? And so for me, letting my hair down literally, and also just surrendering to having fun with it, it's been a journey for me in itself.
It looks good on you.
Thank you.
I think going back to your origins, like she's a Puerto Rican, a New Yorican.
Yeah. Well,
where did you learn your love of cooking?
Oh, come on. So Puerto Rican, Italian, Filipino home. At home. I had my entire family. I mean, look, it was a very rowdy home.
Wow.
Okay. It's a rowdy home. There's no quiet space in my house. But I'll tell you what, there was a lot of love and a lot of good food. And for us, it didn't matter what was going on in the day. We were all required to sit at the table for dinner. And trust me, there were many nights I didn't want to be at the table with these people, but but that was the rule. So, we got there, and it was that I'm very grateful for that rule, because now it's a part of the tagline for Bubbles and Pearls, let us feed you and food connects us all. And that's really what happens.
And you get that family sense here because I think one of the first times I came in, your mom was here and she was making some of I forget what it was, the bread or some of the what
Biscuits.
was it? The biscuits, right?
Yeah.
It was so good. And they did the
Yeah.
biscuits with the what was
Pork
it? The
belly.
jam, pork belly, and the jam. Oh man, it was so good. But meanwhile, you talk about like Puerto Rican, Italian, and Filipino. So did you ever make like an adobo chicken parmesan with mofongo on the side? That's
Hey, listen, come on, Mike. I'll think outside the box, but some things just
But
don't
that's
go
crazy.
together.
And she said elevated.
I know.
Yeah. No. Listen,
I know that.
mofongo is.
I-
We gotta elevate the soul food guys. You know what I mean? Because that's what really speaks here. It speaks to your heart. It speaks to your soul. all that other stuff is like, it's nice. And oh, shout out to Jeremy, from Stubborn Seed with his first Michelin
Michelin
star.
star.
And so excited about it. Yeah.
Everybody is pumped for him because he got to start here in Fort Lauderdale with Chef Dean James Max.
Dean
And
Max.
we saw yesterday we were out at Even Keel, and Brad also was just gushing and so happy for Jeremy.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's great to see
so
the food
happy.
community. Just everybody's happy for each other, and it's one day when the Michelin Guide hopefully will get them to break out north of the 305 because there is good dining all over South Florida, and especially Visit
Yeah.
Lauderdale. And hey, it's a good time to talk about the virtues of Visit Lauderdale. Neki Mohan, and this summer, of course, we've got Lauder Deals going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bubbles and Pearls took part. In the
They
past,
still
they would
plenty of time, Mike. It's not,
Yeah.
the doors are never closed at Visit Lauderdale for more people to come in and take part in all of our deals. The traditionally slow summer months of the summer is where we started loads, and now it's alive and kicking. All you got to do is to go to visitlauderdale.com/deals. And Mike, you have the whole list right in front of you.
Yeah, no, this summer you can enjoy the good life for less here in Greater Fort Lauderdale with the great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more all summer long. So you can start planning your summer getaway or your summer staycation online, and you can find the great hotel deals on everything from the luxury beach resorts to family-friendly suites, indulgent food and drink specials all over the place. I think that they'll be hitting all those the Lauder Meals special later on in August and September. Yep. And you shop Lauder Deals for exciting attractions like Flamingo Gardens and Butterfly World. Plus, if you're
they have the adventure pass, the kids are home now. You want to take them there 2-3 times a week and wear them out.
Yeah.
That's what you do, But we, it used to be slow in the summer. You've been here 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
That's changed, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, so Florida is my place. But Fort Lauderdale, the weather is hotter. It's hotter. So I think it really is great for inspiring people to visit our beaches up here in Fort Lauderdale, right? And they're beautiful. I mean, I've been out there. I don't really necessarily come and hang out when there's an influx of like tourists because I'm a local and I like to keep it local, right? But our beaches are so beautiful here in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, and you just park on the street and you walk right out and it's right there. You don't have to walk a mile to the beach. It's just right off the street. And so much good food on the beach now,
there's good food everywhere. And that's why we do this segment.
And that's what's keeping Mayo in business. Mayo, don't you need to take a business break now? Is it commercial?
Yeah, we got to pay some of the bills. But again, remember check out all the great Lauder Deals online. Greater Fort Lauderdale. You go shop Lauder Deals at visitlauderdale.com/deals and plan your best summer vacation ever. All right. We're going to be back in a moment with more from Bubbles and Pearls with Chef Josie on the Lunchbox.
Yeah, we let Blue Blast's break by 3 minutes, but his show, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
But you would love this spot.
We have a nice crowd that comes in here. It's built on.
And it's a pleasure to also bring on the show now. I guess
we don't need
I don't
these.
know
We can hear
we'll
him.
say Josie's better half. No, we'll just no. We'll just say longtime partner, Marcy Miller. You run the front of the house. Is that right? And just talk a little bit about how did the two of you meet, and how did you decide to go in business together?
Oh dear God.
Loaded question.
Uh,
So Josie and I actually met online on a dating website. And the fact we actually had our first date at this location before it was Bubbles and Pearls. That's why we chose this location as our home. So yeah, date right here at these two bar stools. You can see it right behind me. And since I knew she was on TV and a kind of celebrity, and she didn't share that information with me, I was kind of nervous. So I told her to pick anything that she wanted on the menu, and she inquired about the oysters that were on the menu. So they did offer oysters on the half shell. Now they just had like 6 or whatever. And she asked the bartender, she's like, so where are your and the bartender said, girl, I have no idea. And she was like, girl, then we're not eating them. And she had asked me if I like oysters, and to be honest with you, I wasn't quite sure. I mean, I didn't really ever have a great experience with them. Like anytime I had them, they're kind of slimy, kind of like they just weren't my thing. But I was open to trying new things. That wasn't the night that we tried them, but she was like, we're definitely going to take, she's going to take me to a place that have about 3 to 5 different oysters, and I can try all different kinds. And I don't know if we ever went on that date, but we didn't have to. Now we own a restaurant that has 5 different oysters on the menu, and I can have them any day that I want. And I'm happy to say that now I am an oyster fan. So
Excellent. So Josie, I guess I know that when I first came in here, you had the bone marrow, you had the ribeye, but I also know that Marcy is vegan, and that you also have been also flirting with veganism, or trying to eat a little bit healthier. What's your focus and balance now? And I guess the new restaurant also, is it going to be the same concept as Earl's, which is something for everyone, including meat eaters and vegan?
Oh yeah. So listen, guys, I have this this restaurant had a limited kitchen, right? So we've been limited from the beginning, and I'm really excited that we were able to put out certain dishes that we can do well consistently, because consistency in the restaurant business is the key to success. There's nothing like going to a place and for the first time and eating something that you love, and then going back there the following week and it's terrible, and it doesn't taste like anything you had the first time you experienced it. So consistency was really important to me. It's like a pillar of our success. That being said, when it comes to the menu, it being a limited menu here, I needed to like bring that I thought would really check boxes for people. A lot of thought goes into guys, and also it had to be approachable, because like I mentioned earlier, I come from like a very bougie world of food, right? And so I was doing, this was like more approachable, coming humble beginnings, coming from that place. The commitment was to feed people, not to bedazzle them, And so I guess you could say, with this limited menu, we needed to be able to check many boxes. And also our whole thing is feeding people. We want to feed everyone. And I take into consideration dietary restrictions because I care about health. My wife and I have been on this like health journey, and we both, when we went plant-based, Marcy's fully vegan, as you mentioned, and I'm plant-based. We both lost, like, I've lost 45 pounds. Marcy's lost 50 pounds. And we have, we just want to live healthy, happy lives here. And We want the people in our space at our restaurants to also be conscious about ingredients, to know where they come from, to understand the quality. Because everyone says, so what did you put on that steak? And I go, salt and pepper. You know, I was like, salt, pepper, and butter, basted it with garlic and butter. I mean, that's what I did. You know, there's no secret to the love that you put, because the secret ingredient, love, is no longer a secret. You got to put love into the food. So when we start, this menu is what it is for now. And we offer some nice specials. Like this weekend, I'm going to be doing like a watermelon jalapeno granite for the oysters flight. And it's going to be fun. It's very warm out right now. So this will be nice and refreshing and new experience. You know, I'm going to be doing also like some yummy, I forget what the name of this taco is, because
Demi-glace? No.
Mayo tacos. Mario, you know, so we're doing those too, and I'm like, I forget what the name is, but anyways, I'm just like, I feel like, you know, cooking up a storm here, you know. But the new place, oh my God, we're gonna go and we're gonna be pimping out our raw bar. It's gonna be like the Rolls Royce of raw bars. Okay, we're gonna be doing, oh my God, wait until you see what we're gonna be doing. Okay, we're gonna take broiled oysters to another level. Okay, on top of that, like, we're gonna be making our own bread in house. We're teaming up with Argyle Coffee. We are going crazy in the new space. I can't even wait to like bring. And we're going to focus on brunch. Everybody's been asking us for brunch. Well, we're going to do it. But the reason why we haven't done it up to this point is because we couldn't do it the way that Marcy and I envision things and like really make things happen. So we decided that brunch, guys, I'm telling you right now, mark my word, right here on Mike Mayo's show, it is going to be the best brunch in Fort Lauderdale. Okay?
Oh yeah, you heard it. What is in that beer, Mayo? And what is she drinking that I'm not drinking?
Oh, girl, you and I could hang out every night. Yes.
You know, the thing about Josie is I just really wish you would get some enthusiasm. It's just like the way she's so sedate is now, hey, you know, for people who don't know maybe, you know, what goes on behind the scenes, this place, what astounded me when I first came in and reviewed, is that you don't really have you don't have a stove, you don't have like proper kitchen equipment that most people have in a regular, you know, 2-bedroom home because of the limitations of this space. Can you just describe for people? And you are able to make like some really wondrous food, and it's using like this induction stove,
like a George Foreman grill back there.
Yeah, so we're doing all of this in the air fryer. No, just kidding. Yeah, hey, listen, I love my air fryer, but no, we have a convection oven, and we have 2 small little convection ovens back there. I have an industrial steamer, so that's how we steam things, and I have a flat top, and that's it. That's all I have.
Yeah, it's incredible. Hey, Marcy, for you, I know you're coming off a big week and a big weekend, Pride. Got the nice, you know, flags behind us. Just what was it like this past weekend, and what's it like for you, you know, and you and Josie to be in this community, being able to do what you do?
Well, okay, so just go back on Pride. So Pride for us was very, very proud. So little history, the street in front of us blocked off for Pride before, so this was the first year that we've had that happen, and people came out, and it was awesome. We had our very first women's stage right in front of Bubbles and Pearls. We teamed up with Pandora Events, so that was a success. It was nice to have, since we are a women-owned business, it was nice to give a shout out and support our, you know, local women community as well. So that was awesome.
The whole south end of the drive. This is the first for all of the businesses here.
So we were very happy. the south end of the drive was very happy to be included in Wilton Manors Pride because we are Wilton Manors as well. But for our community, I mean, I can't say enough about, when we were talking about, opening up our second location, we even talked about like flipping this location and turning it into something different. But we really thought about it and we're like, no, well, this is where it started. We want to keep it the same. This is the OG spot, original. And it really hats off to our community because, I mean, we survived the pandemic on our community alone because we don't even serve to-go food normally, and we're a champagne oyster bar, and that just goes to show like who we are and who our community is, and making sure that we did make it through and we did survive because a lot of restaurants did not. And then 2 years, later, now we are starting to look at another location and grow. And so we love our Wilton Manors community. We do not want to leave. This is where we live, work, and play. And we're just grateful that now we get to spread our wings and share some of our community love to Fort Lauderdale because, we love Fort Lauderdale too. And who knows where we'll go next, but we'll start there. So.
And Josie, I always say I don't care about anybody's sexuality, gender, race. Make good food. I'm coming to eat it.
Yeah, we all know that. So I have a question for Mayo. So Mayo and
Yes.
Defo, you'll appreciate this. So Marcy's lost 50 pounds. Josie's lost 45 pounds. How long since they've known you? How many pounds have you lost, Mayo?
Oh, is that a challenge? Because I always say the diet is starting tomorrow. And diet is a four-letter word. It's not a diet. And I think what both Josie and Marcy have done since the pandemic is just you adapt a better, healthier lifestyle. It includes exercise. It includes mindfulness and meditation. It includes better choices. And I would never deny myself a certain food because that just leads to that whole binge and
but it's good
thing.
food.
It's more along the lines of
Quality.
Just limit yourself, make better choices. And I keep saying I'm going to do that, and one of these days I really will.
Defo, so you've been listening to all of this, considering that they got a hot plate and a convection oven and a steamer back there. What can they whip up here for you? What's your dream dish?
Well, I mean, I see a lot of things on the menu, and they all look sensational. My curiosity is about the mussels, the 500-degree mussels.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a big
Talk about
mussels
the
guy,
500.
but how would you describe? I mean, usually it's like white or red sauce that you can get with it. So, what differentiates these? Because from all the words that you see in reviews of the restaurant, everybody says, "Hey, this is a must go to item," and they're sensational. So, what was the concept behind that?
Okay, so sorry. One of the things that you have to understand about mussels, right? So we always get them steamed in a sauce and open. And when you cook them, they come up in the sauce, and they're great because they're great little vehicles for sauce. I love any kind of like bivalve for sauce. I'm a sauce queen. I love sauce. Okay. So that being said, there's another way that you can cook mussels, right? And that's by roasting them. And when you roast them, they have a different texture. Their body, their muscle itself has a different texture. It gets a little like sweeter, and it almost dries out a little bit, like towards a jerky texture. But it is that little dryness, it basically takes the sweetness of the mussel and intensifies it. Now, what we do is we take the mussels, we toss it with butter, salt, and a little bit of lemon. We roast them at 500 degrees. And then we let the natural juices from the mussels release, and it mixes with the butter and the salt and the lemon. And then there you have it. It's just, that's what it is. But it's just technique of roast opposed to steaming that really takes it to another level.
No,
My heart
and
beats
Josie,
still. That sounds great.
yeah, Josie, one of the things that makes her so good, some chefs can't get out of the way of themselves, and she really adheres to that KISS philosophy of keep it simple, stupid, and just let the Let the ingredients shine. Again, simple technique, simple flavors, just a little salt, little lemon, and then you really get that. It's just beautiful. It's
Yeah, but I think you'll also agree with me when I say this. When you come from immigrant communities, we all know it's like to live in those tiny New York apartments. And, most immigrants came in with either a hot plate or a pressure cooker and made incredible meals. So I'm sure when you think of this stuff, it falls right in.
So I'm just gonna say you brought me to tears about 3 times today already. So you and I, we gotta watch out when I'm not gonna put any makeup on when I'm hanging out with you. But yeah, exactly. Like I was taught in some of the best kitchens in New York. I worked for Wiley Dufresne, and there was nothing simple about his approach, and it was complex and genius, right? That being said, when I had an opportunity to open my first restaurant, like I want to feed the people who I grew up around, right? I wanted to make good food accessible. And it starts with education. And I hope that Bubbles and Pearls represents an approachable way to be educated around eating good food. It's not just about, look, you can go to Whole Foods. You guys know, there's Sprouts, there's Whole Foods, there's all these fresh markets, there's all these new gourmet Trader Joe's, there's these gourmet grocery stores. So you're familiar with good ingredients, right? But now we have to hold the fire to the butts of all the restaurants out here, because look, you know how much it costs? You know how much it costs to go get that ingredient from Whole Foods as opposed to the at Winn-Dixie, and I'm not racking, I'm not racking on Winn-Dixie. Okay. They have a really great meat program, right? So that's not what I'm saying, but the difference between good product and great product. And when you have great product, there's not a necessity to take it and manipulate it in a way that you don't even know what you're eating. Now, that's really great when you're going for that experience, right? Like my boy Jeremy, right. He could take, celery and turn it into a potato chip. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're eating, that over a short rib that's been sous vide all day, he has the technique, and we can bring that technique. But this restaurant concept is not about that. It's about letting ingredients and this food that we're partnering up with all these different farms, we're letting those ingredients speak for themselves. And those don't need a lot. They need to be cared for. They need to be handled with love, and they need to be seasoned so you can taste them. And that's it.
Excellent. Hey, you guys stick around for the last segment. We're going to do a little break in a minute. I first got to put in the good word and talk about food with love. We're talking about our friends over at Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria up in Pompano Beach at 1940 Northeast 49th Street, just west of Federal Highway and a little bit north of Sample Road. Go to CostasGreekEateryPizzeria.com to check out their menu and order for delivery and takeout at Costas. You're going to love it because they treat them like family. Honest place with great food, tremendous value. They're known for their Greek specialties like the souvlaki, spinach pie, the Greek lasagna, the pastitsio, the moussaka, and of course they also have the thin, crisp New York style Greek pizza. They have classic stuff like pepperoni, and gorgonzola and spinach is one of the specialty pies that I love. Go into Costas, check it out, enjoy yourself. Make sure you bring your appetite and your family. Costas Greek Eatery and Pizza. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Always great
we'll
stuff, and you can appreciate this. Yeah, go ahead, Mike. I was going to throw it to the break here, but let Neki know
you
that,
do it.
I said, if I have to
I'm
get
so
up,
happy that you went.
yeah, she went. She jumps on a bus every day. We live here in Fort Lauderdale. She jumps on a bus at the Griffin Tri-Rail station.
Oh.
And it drops her off at Government Center.
Oh, yeah.
And her and another little girl walk together.
Oh.
Yeah, and the other little girl's mom used to work for the Broward Sheriff's Office, so we're on them. We're tracking them. Yeah, we're on them. You gotta have an education.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk to me here and Mayo.
Does anybody hear me?
I hear you. Not on the radio. I hear you here, yeah.
Do you hear me? I'm not coming through.
Probably not, because it's a disaster. You guys hear the radio still?
But I don't think that most, like I have another girl, her best friend goes to school out west. We used to live here a lot. And my parents wouldn't drive her in there. We're like, we can't be bothered with this. And we don't want you to take the train.
Okay,
Or from New York. I believe in throwing a kid out to the street.
He's trying to call me. Put a lot of things in perspective.
Listen, I'm sure it did.
All right. We are back on the Lunchbox special visit Lauderdale. Everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun, remote edition coming to you from Bubbles and Pearls on Wilton Drive in fabulous Wilton Manors. We're here with Chef Josie, kind enough to sit in for the whole hour. And yeah, we've been talking about all kinds of things. So I always like asking chefs, so where are you eating besides your home?
You don't get in trouble now.
Any place of Lauderdale, Greater Lauderdale, that you've been checking out and digging?
Yeah, so it's funny because I always like looking for some good food. There's a little spot and is they don't ask. They're not going to change them recipe at all. They're going to just approach it that way. I Kaizen and really love the chef over there. And I had this little uni shot that was the most delicious thing I've had in a long time.
We started at Kaizen for Asian Pacific Islanders.
Oh, really?
And Kui is like crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. And I love those guys. That's really good. There's a couple other spots that I like to head out. Of course, I have to always give a shout out to Chef Medellin over at Riverdale. Hats off to you, my friend, because just everything you touch turns to gold. And then Planta Queen here.
I went there last week.
Oh man, we've already been there like 4 times. Oh, we love it because it's like it's vegan, and Marcy and I can just order anything on the menu. And on Mondays, I think they have the $20 or $26 all you can eat vegan sushi.
Oh my goodness.
It's like sushi roll maki night, and it is so good. So we go there. It's on my it's on my
I think you'll dig it. It's
I haven't been there
I
either.
cannot wait. It's actually on my list.
And as a Trinidadian, I'm about to lose my card because
Oh.
Timon is part Trinidadian. So
Timon,
he
that's
is-
my other boy.
I'm glad that he's in the 954 now.
Me too.
Yeah, 954 Roots. It's good to see.
Well, you want to know what's so funny? There's a little here's a little backstory. When I first opened Bubbles and Pearls, I reached out to Timon and I was like, "Hey brother, I'm opening up. Come on up anytime whenever you're up here." He said to me, and don't think I ever forgot this. That's what keeps me on my toes. But he said to me, he goes, "Maybe I should come and rent the space next to you and give you some real competition." And I thought that was great because I'm like, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. I was like, come on, come on.
And that's what we like to hear, Mayo. We like to hear the trash talk because I
Yeah.
think the winner is always the client.
Basketball courts,
She digs poker.
We can
I've
do
always
it.
said it's great when a lot of talented people get together in a close area because it raises the game for everybody, and then more people come and they'll check out all the other places. There's more places to do that. Again, we saw it yesterday, Lauderdale by the Sea. That's become a really hot spot for some really good chef-driven food. And same thing's happening in Wilton Manors. Same thing is happening in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Obviously, the Las Olas Strip has been real good for a long time, but it's good to see the talents like the Jose Martinez and the team of Foods coming into the 954. It's really an exciting time. Hey, one more.
And then I always have to give a shout out to my homegirl, Paula Da Silva, over at Burlock Coast, okay? She is a class
That's
act.
the Ritz-Carlton on the beach.
Yeah.
She does a terrific
Mhm.
job there too. Paula Da Silva.
Yeah.
One question, because our man Defo there is about to embark on a weekend journey to one of our favorite food cities, New Orleans. Do you have any recommendations in like maybe one or two spots that he needs to check out in the Big Easy this weekend?
Well, that's a good one. And I would have to say that you're probably gonna have to talk to my wife on that one. Okay. No, it's just because I haven't been to New Orleans in a long time, and listen, the landscape changes anytime you leave a city for a decade. And if the last time you visited any 10 years ago, trust me when I tell you that you won't have an idea. There's a lot of talented chefs in New Orleans, and I need to make it down there. So, hey, Defo, tell me, check it out. Where I should check out.
It's funny. We have our favorite places. I did want to say my son is going to be part of this trip also with his lovely wife Kelly, and they're taking off in the morning. We're leaving tomorrow night. Is watching on YouTube, and he says that Josie has a little bit of Don King in her, which is great in terms of the way she promotes the restaurant. And B, his second comment was, "Wow, this place sounds great. We have to try this joint." So I'm looking forward to coming there, and I'm glad Jesse was able to tune in. Yeah, we have a few spots we like to go to, and I got some advice from Louisiana Tom on Facebook. He had some places that Mike makes a face at that I find favorable. So we'll definitely have our choice of a lot of places to go in a couple of nights we're there.
Well, I expect a full list, Defo.
All right.
Can't wait.
We'll get you some places. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you. We'll be hanging out again. This is the beginning of a relationship, of a long-standing hangout relationship.
I love all you guys. Thanks for tuning into Mike Mayo and his lunch party, his little lunchbox party. I love that. I'm Lady Snack Daddy as a DJ, and I carry a lunchbox for all my gear. It's so hilarious, but thank you so much for coming through. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
We got to thank the lovely Marcy. Also, she was on the air with us and had to go attend to some business, but it's a beautiful place. Again, please come out. What's the address again here, Josie? I know
It's 2037 Wilton Drive. We're located directly across from the police station and City Hall here in the center of Wilton Drive. And, you know, if you're looking for us, we're right next door to What the Fuck. The Vietnamese spot. Mm-hmm.
And it's, again, a really, really cool place. The kind of place I've always loved is that they've got all this great artwork displaying on the walls. I don't know if any of it's for sale, but
Oh, yeah.
oh, it's all for sale. Okay, so it's local artists, and they take care of all the locals here. And I can't believe it. They still are able to offer their $1 oyster specials during happy hour and other times. When is that again, Josie?
So that's we offer that 5 days a week, and we're open Wednesday through Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That is a 5 to 7 scenario. On Saturdays, we do a reverse happy hour, so from 9 to 10. And on Sunday, we're so crazy here at Bubbles and Pearls. We do it all day until they run out.
And those are the
Wow.
delicious oysters from, I guess it's the James River in Virginia. Good quality stuff. That's all you'll find here at Bubbles and Pearls. Today, visit Lauderdale. We thank everybody for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Lunchbox. It's Mike Mayo saying, remember to enjoy every sound.